My name's Hop, 44, from down here in Kensington.
You was born and raised out here?
Yeah, I lived up in the Northeast for a little while though, when I was a teenager. That's where maybe I guess you could say most of my formative years were at, but I've been down here most of my life. Beginning and hopefully not the end, but.
How would you spell your name? The Hop?
Hop, H-O-P.
H-O-P, why they call you that?
My last name. My last name's Hopson.
Oh, okay, so, all right, got you.
Everybody just calls me Hop.
All right, okay, I got you, brother. So tell us, man, how you feeling today?
Today, I don't know. Today, just like pretty much like any day, just frustrated, fed up with this lifestyle, man. Like I'm gonna go away. Like I'm gonna go to detox, man. Like I never done it before, and I figure why not? You know what I mean? I've seen it work for people. Maybe it could work for me. I mean, hopefully it'll work for me. It's gotta work for me. It's got to. I can't keep doing this. I just can't.
Man, what made you come to that realization you don't want to do this anymore?
I mean, I've been at it for a while, really. Like, it's just been day after.
Let's wait. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta deal with the train situation. Yeah, go back to that.
But just day after day, I've been feeling like this for a long time, and it's just now like I'm getting the guts up to do it. Like, I don't know. It's a scary thought because, like, I mean, nobody likes to go through withdrawal. I got other issues that I'm dealing with, like physically, that I'm worried about that might come into play. So I'm nervous, but at the end of the day, this isn't me, man. This is not me no more. I don't like the person I've become. I don't like who I am at all. Like, it's just not me, and people who know me best know that. And I'm trying to get back to the dude who I was, really, and this is not, living this lifestyle is just going to hinder that. And I'm tired of being a slave, man. I'm tired of being a slave to the drug, to the bullshit, to just everything. I'm tired of it, man.
Man, that's great to hear that. To hear people someone speak so clearly who have been in the struggle for a while,
Mm-hmm. I ain't complaining, you know what I mean, but because I put myself here. But, been on the streets, stay at a friend's house here and there. But, it's just, man, like I said, I got health issues, got all kinds of, like, I haven't been eating right, you know what I mean? Just haven't been taking care of myself the way a person should be, and, like, I don't know, I get fed up. The cops are everywhere. They bust your balls all day long, you know what I mean? The people out here, I don't know any of them anymore. Like, I'm just, like, this isn't my Kensington no more. This isn't my life. This isn't me. This just isn't me no more, man. I've just been so fed up with everything. Like, the depression don't get to you. The frustration and the anger will, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you just, it makes you want to do something, you know what I mean? But most times you just sit back and do nothing and talk about it, but I'm done talking about it, man. I really am. I'm done talking about it. I'm going to do something.
Man, that's what's up, man. Take your power back, man.
Yeah.
Right? You're stronger than this, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So what was it like back then, Kensington? What was Kensington like back then to now?
Oh, man. Totally different neighborhood, man. Like, it's tough to explain. I mean, it was always, drug ridden and shit like that, but it was more, I don't know, there was more like a camaraderie with some of the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had cats that you ran with or got high with or whatever, and like, people looked out for each other for the most part. Like, don't get me wrong, there were scumbags that did scumbag shit, but for the most part, everybody looked out for each other if they could. And nowadays, man, like, you can't close your eyes. I was just telling you can't close your eyes for 2 seconds without somebody stealing your shit. You can't put your book bag down and turn around without someone taking it. Your phone, forget about having a phone unless you keep it up your ass or something. All that is dead. Like, just having anything that you, like, to yourself, that's something that you I mean, better not have nothing that you really cherish, because I don't know what to tell you to do with it, man, because they're going to get you. But it's just, people out here don't care about each other no more, man. Like, sure, you got a couple people, like, don't get me wrong, but they're so few and far between, man, and I don't know any of them. Not right now, I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, what happened in your life that made you want to run away from it by using drugs?
I don't necessarily want to say anything happened to, like, as a catalyst to force me into that, but it was just, just growing up, when I have a little fun, started off drinking, smoking weed, shit like that, and then eventually turned to heroin. I actually turned to heroin when I was in a juvenile placement, like, that was supposed to help people with that, you know what I mean? But I met some cat in there who, that was his thing, and, he introduced me to it one time, and man, I just fell in love with it. And ever since then, I've been chasing that love, but it don't love you back. It definitely don't love you back.
Right.
Takes
a lot away from you, right?
It takes it all away from you. It all away.
What all have you lost due to your addiction?
Everything, man. Everything. Like I said earlier about this not being me, I lost my identity, man. I lost my identity. I lost my humanity in some ways. I just, my family that I had, like all I got is a grandma and a sister over in Jersey. I got a daughter who I don't see, who's growing up without me. And that's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. That's not who I am. I'm the type of dude that's supposed to be there for his kid. You know what I mean? I'm not one of, and
hold that thought. Real talk.
But here I am, and lo and behold, apparently I am that dude. You know what I mean? I am that guy that just, turned his back or whatever and didn't do what he had to do.
What do you miss most about being a father?
I never really had the chance. You know what I mean? I never really had the chance. Like, I saw my daughter in the beginning, here and there on visits and stuff like that, and it was great. It was great, you know what I mean? I taught her to walk. Can't nobody say they did that. I did that. I taught her to walk, so don't nobody take no credit for that. But that's my baby, man. That's my baby, and like, no matter, even though I ain't her, like, I think of her every day, and I'm hoping to get that opportunity back. Like I said, that's all part of the, the plan too. Getting back or getting in my daughter's life, having her know who her father really is. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, man. Tell us about your current situation. What is it?
Man, you're looking at it. I'm just out here struggling, man. Struggling. Like, it's tough just to make, just to get by, because like I got a fucked up wheel. I got a bad leg. It's hard to get around. Like I said, I got other health issues that's just been really plaguing me, man. So it's hard to do anything. And like, I'm just out here just scraping, man. Scraping to get by. I got a couple cats who, like I see, might help me out here and there. But, that is fucking rare. And, other than that, I'm just out here, man. Just part of the streets, like a stop sign, man. Straight up.
What does a day in your life look like?
Boring, really. I get a lot of mileage with my feet, I'll tell you that. I walk around a lot. And just, on to the next thing, you know what I mean? Like, whatever's there to make a couple of hours, just to get right, just to stay well, you know what I mean? Because you ain't getting high off of this shit. It's just about staying well for the most part, and like, it's such a struggle, man. It really is.
Right. Tell us about your childhood. What was it like growing up?
typical, but it wasn't, it wasn't strange either. Like I had my mom and my dad, they split up, when I was young. My dad he was a junkie. So was my mom, but my mom got her shit together for her kids, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part. And my dad, he really didn't, I'm a lot like my mom and my dad in a lot of ways, but unfortunately I followed my dad, his lifestyle mostly. He died when I was 12 though from an overdose. And, that kind of fucked me up at the time. Even though we weren't that close, I saw him on the weekends and shit, but my dad, that's you know what I mean? That's my dad, you know what I'm saying? That's who I looked up to for the most part. Even though he probably wasn't the best person to look up to. But, it's my namesake. I follow after him, you know what I mean? So, that's who I looked up to. But so it really it fucked me up when he passed.
Yeah, his soul rest in peace.
Yeah, and under, the circumstances, it was under, him ODing and shit like that. Like, they didn't want to let me know at first, like, you know what I mean? But my mom knew I knew better. And so my mom told me the truth, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But, I was pretty reckless growing up. I was locked up most of my life. Like, anybody who knows me knows, like, you usually didn't see me for long. Like, a few months here, and then where's Hop at? Locked back up. I spent, I've been on probation since I was 12. Spent, with the exception of the past 5 years and some change now, this is the longest I've been out, and it's killing me for real, because like usually that break in jail, that that time out, you get away from the drugs for the most part, you know what I mean? And that shit'll save you, like, and it saved me. Like, this little run here is, wow, man. I don't know how people do it, but with the exception of these last 5 years, I spent the past 27, like 24 out of 27 of them locked up in some way or another. And for the longest time, that's all I knew. You know what I mean? I thought that's all it was going to be. But when I maxed my state number out the last time, I met my baby mom, and even though she was getting high too, we had a connection, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't see myself going to jail and leaving her behind, you know what I mean? So I stayed away from doing things that I would normally do. Like, I went to jail, like the last time I went upstate was for robbing a bank. That was like the last thing I did that was serious, you know what I mean? Like, now I'm scared to steal a candy bar. But like I said, you know what I mean, me and my baby mom, even though she was a little crazy and had her own thing going on, like, she helped me, want to be out here, you know what I mean? She helped me, feel like I had something else to hang on to other than just the streets that I was hanging on to up until that point, you know what I mean?
Right. So what did you learn from jail? What did jail teach you?
Jail taught me everything. I learned everything I know in jail, you know what I mean? Like, but, I grew up there. So, like, literally got my education in jail. I ain't go to school. I stopped going to school halfway through the 6th grade. You know what I mean? So everything I know, I got a 118 IQ. You know what I mean? I ain't picked that shit up in school. You know what I mean? That was from the streets in jail. So, like, everything I know, like, I can't really give you any, too many, you know what I mean? Right. Specifics, but,
Okay. What was the first thing you did when you got out?
The first thing I did when I got out, depends on what time you're talking about. Most times.
Yeah, most recent.
Most recently, shit. I ain't get high right away, which is usually what I do. It took a couple days. You know what I mean? But I started getting high, and then I started looking for ways to make money, and I was, hustling a little bit. I was making a few bucks here and there.
Gotcha. But tell us about your first drug experience.
My first drug experience, I probably don't remember it, to be honest with you, because it was probably just weed or, drinking or something like that. But I could tell you my first experience with heroin, I could tell you that. Like I said, I was at a juvenile placement at the time. I was 15. I went there on my 15th birthday. The court sent me there. It was called The Bridge. It's up in Fox Chase. A lot of the people there were older than me, you know what I mean? Like, you had a lot of cats there that were 18, you know what I mean, 17, whatever. Like I said, I was 15, and I thought I was tough shit. I found out quick I wasn't as tough as I thought I was, but I got a lot tougher being there, you know what I mean? And so that place did help me in that regard. But at one time there was this cat who came in, and he was already in school at the time, and he was about to graduate. But
just turn the other way so this thing won't be hitting you. You can get closer to this, yeah.
The courts had sent him away. Regardless, he was halfway through his, last year in high school, but they still allowed him to finish his final year, even though he was in placement. They let him leave every day to go to school and stuff. And I remember his graduating class was going to like a Phillies game or some shit, and they weren't letting him go. Like, understandably, bro, like you're still technically locked up, you know what I mean? Like, they looked out for you on going to your last year of school. So he didn't see it that way, and he ended up taking off. But I stayed in touch with him because he was a solid dude, you know what I mean? My man Ashby. I don't know where he's been or where he's at, but hopefully he's doing good. Anyways, we stayed in touch, and I remember like at one point at the bridge, after you got to a certain level, right, it was on a level system. After you got to like a level 3, you were allowed to go out to meetings with other level 3s and stuff. Now here's the thing, at the time I made my level 3, I was the only level 3. I'm 15 motherfucking years old. I'm not going out to a meeting. I'm going out and hanging out with my boys for a couple hours if I can, you know what I mean? So that's what I did. So I remember I called Ashby up and told him come get me. And I remember he was telling me, he's like, yo, it's my birthday, what'd you give me for my birthday? And I'm like, the same shit I got you last year, nothing. And I was like, but seriously, I was like, what do you want? Because I had money, because you made a couple of hours working there at the bridge on maintenance that I didn't really need, you know what I mean? So I was able to stack a couple of hours.
Go back this way, my bad. That's the best angle. Go ahead.
Plus I was doing, a couple of things in there to make a few extra bucks. But so anyways, it was no problem. I was like, well, what do you need? He's like, just give me a bag of dope. I'm like, and at the time, like, I know about dope, but I've never done it. I don't know what the fuck it costs. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know the intricacies of it, you know what I mean? I just know it exists. Like I said, my mom and dad both did it. Anyways, I'm like, how much it cost? He's like, $10. I was like, well, here's 20, get yourself 2 of them. Now this is back in 1996. This is when dope was dope. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that shit that's going around now. Like a bag was $10 and it fucking lasted you forever. Like the bags were big and the shit was potent. So if you didn't know what you was messing with, like you had to be careful. So I remember he grabbed 2 bags of homicide, and at the time, like you saw homicide in the newspaper and everything, was taking people out. And I remember he was like, yo, he's like, you want some of this? And I was like, no, I'm good, man. And I was like, well, you know what? I started getting a little curious. I was like, well, how does it make you feel? And he's like, did you ever take perks? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, usually that's how I would, describe it to somebody. It's like a perk high. I was like, well, I never did perks, so I don't fucking know what that's like. And he's like, here, I can tell you what, I'm gonna give you a little bit, see if you like it. His idea of a little bit, looking back, was nobody else's idea of a little bit. It was a nice line. And I remember the Nas, it was written album just came out, and he had the cassette, he dumped it out on that for me. And I snorted that bitch up, and my God, undescribable, man, undescribable. It was like walking down the aisle right away. We got married. I loved it. I loved the feeling. Listen, man, I was floating, felt like $1,000,000. And then a little bit later, I started to throw up. I couldn't stop throwing up. Everything I put in me, I was throwing up. But even throwing up felt good. You know what I mean? It all felt real good. But that was that. And I had to go back to the motherfucking bridge too. Keep in mind, I had to go back. So when I went back, I was getting some stares. You know what I mean? Like, because there was some staff that worked there that used to, you know, get high too. So they knew what to look for. Plus, it was my first time, so it's all over my face. You know, and then a couple cats there came to me too, like, yo, bro, don't, you know what I mean? Don't go down this road, whatever. I'm like, yeah, wait them off. Next time I went out, same thing. I did the same thing, got high again. But this time when I went back, they told on me. And so I ended up having to take off from there, went on a run. And that's basically been how my life went ever since. Just went on a run from there, getting high. Been on a run, getting high ever since, basically. Like I said, with the exception of the past couple of years, like I've been out of trouble. But that's how it started.
Got you. So let's talk about, do you use anything else besides dope?
I shoot some coke sometimes, but it ain't coke. It definitely ain't coke. Like, it's bath salts and maybe some crystal meth or some shit. There might be a little coke in there just so they could, you know, just call it that. But, like, you know, when I started shooting coke back in the day, that shit was, whoo! That was something else. This shit now, like I don't, it's not even, yeah, I don't even really fuck with it like that, like, anymore. Like, I've cut it out of my diet for the most part. It ain't worth the money.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Damn, how do you survive being homeless?
It ain't easy. It definitely ain't easy. Like, I was staying with a friend for a little bit, but me and that friend had a little falling out. But other than that, I've been like, yeah, dude, like, I mean, this shit ain't, like, when you get used to it, you get used to it. I mean, it's something that you can't ever really get used to, but it's something you adapt to, you know what I mean? You find ways. And at the end of the day, like I said, as long as I'm well, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I have to really worry about, like, as far as I'm concerned. Eating and shit like that, all that shit comes second or third, really.
What about taking showers and clothes and all that stuff? Because you seem pretty clean.
Nah, I'm not though. But sometimes, you know, a friend will let you wash up, you know, come by for a shower, a bird bath, or use wipes. Or, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just take the clothes off you got on, throw them away, and put on another set of clothes if you can, you know what I mean?
This ambulance go by real quick. How you deal with all the noise, man, out here?
I hate it. I hate it more than anything, almost. If it ain't dirt bikes, it's loud music, or gunshots, or people just being loud, or it's always loud. You never get a moment. I'm surprised we're able to do this.
Have anything horrible happened to you since you've been out here? Or you have seen anything horrible happen to someone else?
I've seen a lot of bad things happen to other people. You know what I mean? A good friend of mine, my ex, her son was staying with this was a couple years ago, but still was staying with us when we were living over on Emerald Street. Me and my baby mom were staying there, and he would stay there too, but he had just bought himself a car, and he loved the car, so he would never leave the car. And he ended up getting shot and killed. And sitting in his car, man. Young kid, beautiful kid, man. Really ashamed that happened, man. And that, I know that really had an effect on, it had a real effect on my baby mom. Like, it had an effect on me too, but I think it really, you know, affected her more deeply.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you overdosed before?
When I was younger, I used to eat a lot of Xannies. So, excuse me, I used to eat, handfuls of Xannies and just mix that with dope and Sometimes you wake up in the hospital, you know what I mean? But not recently, no.
You haven't been Narcan out here before?
Yeah, but not necessarily because I had to be. These cops are Narcan happy, man. It's crazy you said I just seen them. Narcan a dude without even trying to wake him up, without trying to budge him. Dude was just sitting up against the wall. They went up to Narcan him, man. Like they use that shit as like a punishment or something. I don't know.
Right. So how many bags would you say you use every day?
As many as I can.
And the more you get, the more you use.
As many as I can. Yeah. Like if I only have a couple bucks, hey, I stretch it out the best I can. If I got more, you know, I do a little more. You know what I mean? I'm pretty. People know me know that I'm pretty good though with stretching shit out though. Like I can make a dollar last, I can make a bag last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So do you smoke, snort, or shoot yours?
Shoot it, yeah.
Have you developed abscesses from doing that?
Like I was saying earlier, I've been dealing with this wound on my leg for over 5 years. It's better now that I don't inject in it, you know what I'm saying? But it's not going away because I need plastic surgery. They're not going to do plastic surgery as long as I continue to get high. So hopefully that's something else that could get taken care of because it's killing me. Even though it doesn't seem to be getting worse, it's not getting better, and it hurts like a bitch. So,
right. What's rock bottom to you?
This is rock bottom, hands down. Like all of it.
Right.
All of it, man. Like, it's hard to pinpoint. Like, you can't just pinpoint one thing because you could always deal with one thing. But there's just so much, man. So much. Like I said, between my health and like just physical being, regards to that, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I am wiped out. I'm wiped out, man.
Come a little closer so that tree can stop here.
Dealing with depression, anxiety, just the stress of where's the next bag coming from, like just being out here by yourself too. Like as much as like I like it sometimes. Like when you look up and you're like, man, I really have just put myself in a hole. You know what I'm saying? Like where there's no one around. Like, I don't care about all these people that are, physically around. Like, I'm alone, out here. I'm 100% alone out this bitch.
Right. When you look at yourself in the mirror now, what do you see?
I try not to. The only time I really pull a mirror out is if I'm trying to do a shot. But, I mean, and that's real rap. Like, I really do not look at myself in the mirror that often anymore, man. But you don't need to, you know what I'm saying? Like I still see who I am. I still have to live with myself. And like I said, I don't like it. I don't like the person that I am. Like put it this way, the person who I truly am, if I were to see the person I am now, I'd kick his ass.
Right.
I'd kick his ass.
So where you think you'll be in life right now if it wasn't due to your addiction?
I don't know. That's a tough one because, as even though, like, it is what it is, this addiction has taken me down, some dark paths and has led me to, where I'm at right now. It also has, created who I am. In some ways, it's given me some characteristics that I have become, accustomed to having and being able to utilize them in certain ways. You know what I mean? It hasn't been like the addiction, the drug use, and all that. That has been bad, but like basically, if it don't kill you, it'll make you stronger. So that's what I'm taking from it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I've been through so much and survived so much that it's got to count for something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but as far as where I'd be, I don't know. I really don't.
So what are all the things that you used to love doing before this happened to you?
Shit, man. It's been so long. I don't know. Like,
Your passion?
I like I'm into sports. I love sports. I love reading. I love movies. I did a lot of writing while I was in prison. I did a lot of writing. I wrote some books. I wrote some screenplays, and I mean, not to toot my own horn, but pretty good shit. And I'd like to get back into that, honestly. But like mentally, I can't even formulate a thought anymore right now. You know what I mean? So it's tough.
Right.
It's real tough. But I'm hoping that all that'll come back.
Right.
Okay.
If your friends or your family see this video, what message would you like to send to them?
Shit, I don't know.
No.
Still out here right now, but it's about to be over.
Got you.
It's about to be over.
And what are your short-term goals?
Look, I was saying before, I never been to detox. Never did like the rehab thing from out here. Never went somewhere and said, yo, look, I tap out, I quit. I'm doing that. I'm doing that today. Like, real rap today. I can't take another minute out here.
That's what's up, man.
I really can't.
Hope you stick to your word.
Yeah,
and
me
you
too.
make this happen, man. Even if you don't, we understand, but just don't ever give up on yourself, brother. And this one is to take us home. There is a lot of people in this world who judge people who struggle with drug addiction. What's your message for the world?
Man, it could happen to anybody. It could, you know what I mean? Look, I still look down on some people, and I'm out here with them. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's perfect, I get it. But just remember that it could be you, it could be your friend, it could be your family, it could be anybody, it could be someone, you know what I mean? It could be someone you haven't even met yet. But you know what I mean? Come to find out, there's a lot of good people still out here. They just made some bad decisions. And now they're caught up. They got their foot in the trap, like myself. And some of them don't want to be here like myself, but some of them do, you know what I mean? So I get it, I understand some of that, but man, just be easy, man. Have a little compassion. That's all.
Okay, man. Thank you so much, Hop, for letting us in to hear your story. We appreciate you, and you definitely are a warrior, and you are alive for a reason, and you'll definitely make it through this. Hope everything work out for you, man. If people want to reach out to you to help you, what do you need help with?
Man, look, right now, everything. What you see is what you get. What I'm wearing is what I have. Like, what I have in my pockets is what I own. But like I said, right now, like I'm about to check in somewhere. I don't know where yet, but once I do, hopefully, maybe I'll be able to reach out to you and let you know.
Okay.
And we'll see what take it from there, I guess.
All right, man. So AML family, let's keep our brother Hop in your prayers, and we'll stay connected with him. He's AML now. And remember, y'all, don't be bitter, be blessed, or don't be bitter, be better. And we out there. Peace out.